So this is how to use demonstrative adjectives in Spanish. Demonstrative adjectives are things like this, as in this place, those, as in those trees, and that, as in that park. So how do we use them and how are they formed? Well, we need to know also whether the noun that we're describing is either masculine, feminine, or plural, or masculine plural or feminine plural. And that will determine which one we use. These are called adjectives. Now you may see a similar sort of word as well, which are called demonstrative pronouns, but you need to have a look at that video to learn about those. So these ones are description of what things are. So if we're using this and these, we'd use este for the masculine this, esta for the feminine this, estos for the plural these, and estas for the plural these feminine. This one, just be careful with this one. It's not estes as estos. This is a common mistake, so just be careful with that one. Then we have that and those. So ese for the masculine that, esa for the feminine that, esos for the masculine plural those, esas for the feminine plural those. Again, esos, not eses. And then there's just the missing T if you have a look at each of these. So that's the slight difference. Now in Spanish they have one more version, which is aquel, aquella, aquellos, and obviously aquellas. And this is a bit more far removed. So if you think about objects in a shop, for example, one right near to you would be this, one just a little bit near the counter might be that, and the one behind the counter might be that one over there. So it's a kind of a distance thing that you're having a look at. So we've got aquel for the masculine singular, aquella for the feminine singular, aquellos for the masculine plural, and aquellas for the feminine plural. Okay, now there's one more that goes on to this, which isn't very common in Spanish. We have esto, eso, and aquello. Esto meaning this, eso meaning that, and aquello meaning that one over there. And they're kind of a neuter one because they refer back to an idea that's neither masculine, feminine, or plural. So let's give you an example. Let's go out. That's a good idea. That is referring to the whole idea of going out. So this is where we would use eso. The government will lower prices. This will improve growth. This refers to the whole idea of the government lowering prices. So in this case, we'd use esto. Okay, let's move on with some practice then. So tend to do. Now you might need to use dictionary to look up some of the words to know whether they're masculine or feminine. You may know them already. You might want to rewind back, just have a look at the adjectives again. Okay, tend to do. A couple of things to think about. Over there, just so you know which ones you're using. Remember people, how you use people in Spanish. And this one, for this time, we'll use vez instead of tiempo. Okay, pause it here, have a go, and then we'll go over the answers. Okay, the first one, this dog, este perro. That house, esa casa. Those grapes, esas uvas. These drinks, estas bebidas. That book over there, aquel libro. This time, esta vez, really useful one to learn. This year, or that year, sorry, ese año, or aquel año if you want a bit further removed. You might want to learn this year as well, which is este año, another useful one for time frames. These children, estos niños. If there were girls, you could put estas niñas, but as we don't know here, we just put it in the masculine form. Now remember, people in Spanish is singular, gente, so we'd use aquella gente. I suppose you could use aquellas personas, but there would be those, yeah, that one you could have as well. And the last one, that century, ese siglo, or if you want it further removed, aquel siglo, which I think probably is more used than the ese siglo. Okay, Hopefully you've got it now. Rewind it back if you're not sure.